we gotta go back to the granddaddy of them all, or I guess that's the appropriate term for it. Because I was gonna say Evo, Capcom Cup, they're both so big, but I guess when we say granddaddy, we're talking about age, tenure. Definitely got to say Evo on that side of things. And I want to talk about the biggest upsets, the biggest Street Fighter V upsets at Evo.
There was a lot of them.
I gotta start with myself, RobTV. I gotta start with the L that I took on stream. So
let them know.
As you guys can see, I actually ran. It's a funny story. So I ran up against Broly Legs. Funny thing is, so me and Broly, we're about to play in pools. And now that I remember, we were about to play in pools and to make it out on winner's side. And we actually start round 1, fight, tap on the shoulder. Hey, stop. We're actually gonna put you guys on stream. So okay, cool. You got that situation. So then we go play on stream, and so after so for one, it comes down to the end. Broly clutches out. He played amazing the whole tournament. We'll talk about his other like upsets too, but so he beats me, and then afterward I go to sit down. So a fan comes and like, yo, RobTV, can I get a picture? Right when I had just lost. Now luckily, I'm a host / commentator / whatever, so I'm not like I was. So I would have been salty otherwise. But he come asking for a picture. It's all good. I take a picture with him. Then Luffy sees it and he wants to troll me too. And he comes over to me. Hey, can I get a RobTV? Can I get a picture? I'm like, hell no, I'm not taking a picture with you. So he put a picture trolling me. But then after that, I promise, I lie to you not, Brian. Another fan comes over to me, right? And I'm sitting in this chair. He like squats down next to me and he's like, yo man, tight set with Broly. I'm like, oh yeah, man. And he's like, yeah, like what were you thinking in that last moment where you guys both needed one hit? He was dead serious. I just lost. And he literally asked me, so what were you thinking in that last moment?
I'm thinking all my hopes and dreams are about to be crushed and I will never recover from this moment. I'm going to go into a deep spiraling depression and I hope nobody talks to me after this. Listen, man, it's tough. I got hit with those two this weekend. It's a bit, the no neutral, we love the fans of the show. It was a bit. I got hit with the immediate loss into photo take that weekend as well. But yeah, of course. Oh, and we're both the same. I usually beeline out of the venue, but that venue walk from Evo is about 3 miles, so it's like you're stuck there. I'm not gonna walk 3 miles that way and 3 miles back in an hour when I calm down, right? So you got to take those on the chin. But it's all in good fun. We understand. We're happy to interact with the community. But yeah, that Broly set. I watched that on stream after the fact to see what went down, and I was like 5 times through that. Like, how did Rob lose this? And but Broly, he was clutch. We got to give him some props. Super clutch. Yep. That leads into the next upset. I think Broly had the run of a lifetime. I don't know if that's the next match after. I guess he went to losers, losing to Punk, which was a close set, by the way. 2-1. He had a close set with Punk, so no shame in that, right? He's already on a hot streak. And then I don't know if that was the next match after or if there's more in between, but he ends up going up against. I think he beat Hermes.
He did. So he beat Hermes too.
Power ranking. I think Hermes has had more recent good performances, so I would maybe call that one an upset as well. And then after that, he goes up against Big Bird. Evo 2019 second place runner-up, consistent Capcom Cup qualifier, easily in the conversation for one of the best in the world. I mean, he's always been up there, right? He goes up against Big Bird and wins the set. Now, I didn't get to see this one because there was such a crowd around the setup. This is all off stream. I'm just like seeing the top corner of the life bars and trying to piece together what's going on. But Big Bird goes down to Broly Legs. That I think that might be
2-0.
2-0. I think that might be the largest upset of the entire event. I think
damn.
I think
I got this other one, but I don't know. If
you go by seed ranking, like expected performance, Broly Leg has always been a really strong player in the US scene. He's even given some notable players like NuckleDu trouble in the past as well, right? Yep. Like, let's not forget, NuckleDu is forced to like switch characters on him and try to keep up with Broly Leg's Chun-Li style. But to be honest, he hasn't really been competing as much recently. It's all been online. So to see him come offline and do work like that, huge shout out to Broly Legs. Amazing performance. Definitely some of the biggest upsets of the weekend. I never in a million years would have called Broly Legs over Big Bird, to be quite honest. But he put in the work and the performance showed.
Yeah, he actually he ended up finishing 25th overall. And I know he was really happy about it because, like, it made me happy to see that for him too, bro. Like, he been traveling for a while. Like, Broly Legs is can we say Broly Legs an OG in the scene?
Oh yeah, he's definitely been doing work since Street Fighter 4. We used to run rank sets back in the day too. Like I remember Broly League's been doing work for a long time.
Yeah, and he was happy. Like I seen him posting like on Facebook and Twitter and everything, just talking about how that's his best Evo finish. Like he placed 25th overall. So he played
well deserved.
Dope. Yeah, so amazing run by Broly Legs. A godlike player, and props to him and GG's as far as our match. Now the next upset I'm gonna bring up. Where do we want to go? I'm gonna say the big one, Brian. I'm gonna say the other big one. I'm gonna go with Wolfgang over Mena RD. I wish I could have saw that because that's an interesting one. Wolfgang, did you see it in person?
It was on stream. It was on stream.
Oh, so that was on stream.
You can go back and watch the VOD.
I gotta see that.
The funny thing about this one is, this is an upset, but it's also like one of those low key like. That's what happens. You know what I mean? Like Broly Legs Big Bird, I would never have called that. Yeah. Wolfgang against like anybody, I would be like, there's a chance he's gonna get you because Wolfgang is definitely one of the strongest Blanka players in the world. I mean, who else are you gonna even compare him to? In NA, there's not a single name I can pull up, right? And then in Europe, there's a few people who dabbled with him. In Japan, Nishikin is like the consistent Blanka representative, but we haven't seen him internationally. So, do you have this experience? This matchup is an obscure matchup.
And people bro, it feels bad.
Don't rate.
Don't it feel bad bringing that up though?
Mm-hmm.
It feels bad, like the matchup thing.
Right.
Because
you didn't study for it.
But
Wolfgang's an amazingly strong player, and you don't study for it. How can you expect to pass the test if you didn't do the homework?
I'm just saying, if Wolfgang is listening, I'm sure he is, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Wolfgangs, the monos, people who play those characters. It's rough because as soon as you win, like Mena had tweeted out about the whole Blanka thing, but it's rough because I feel like it makes it so that it's so much harder to get full credit.
That's the reality of it, though.
But yeah, in the end of the day,
if he was a bad Blanka player, he would not beat Mena.
Right.
Let's make that clear. Yeah. If he was bad at Blanka, if he was a bad player, he wouldn't beat Mena. He's a great player.
He is.
Period.
But that does matter too, though.
Of course. That's what I'm saying. When you look at a player like Wolfgang, very strong player, he has a one Evo. You know what I mean? He's not like winning Evo or anything. I mean, that's not discrediting anybody. But like when I look at a player like Wolfgang, I can see him potentially beating anyone in the world.
Yeah, I agree.
That's how I view it. Combination of being good and plus, did they do the homework? That's a reality of fighting.
It's facts.
It's facts. It's 100% facts, and that's up to you. I mean, it's a rare situation because you have to balance like what you focus on, but it's your fault at the end of the day. If you didn't study for Blanka and Wolfgang's in your path, you might get smoked.
Bro, you ever study for matchups like that where like I've studied for like Blanka really hard before, right? And or characters like that, but I'll just say Blanka specifically. And if I play any Blanka in that time frame, I'll be confident I'll smoke him. But then, okay, the tournament that you were preparing for Blanka for goes by. You don't run into another good Blanka for.
You forget.
So it's so tough
hard to stay
you just
fresh.
Aren't getting that consistent.
And also Wolfgang, people like there's a skill gap. There's a skill gap. When characters are less popular, when the people who dedicate to them, there's a gap, and you can get experience versus some people, but if they don't have maximized the potential, the techniques, have all the tricks, good luck. Good luck. But shout out to Wolfgang, awesome performance, taking down Mena, putting him in losers. That's definitely a big upset because Mena was looking poised to make a deep Evo run, and it got a little bit cut short, to be quite honest, and kind of unexpected, but that was a dangerous part of the bracket, I'll say for sure, seeing that matchup. Wolfgang could potentially beat anyone on a good day. We'll move on to the next upset. Let's talk a little bit about maybe the young man sponsored by TSM, Chris CCH. Chris CCH had a great Evo performance and was literally a pixel away from taking the top 8 position in Evo over Just a Kid. One of the most dramatic matches of the whole tournament. Shout outs to both those players, young guys in the game, doing it big for the United States community. Love to see them succeed. But his run, couple upsets on the way. First, we just talked about Mena. He took out Mena. Let's not forget, it went down to the Luke mirror as well. He took Mena out of the tournament, so that was a big win for him. Even though he did beat Mena also at Combo Breaker, Mena was up 2-0 with Balrog in top 8, then he won 3 straight with Luke, if I'm remembering correctly. So I don't. Is it an upset
I
anymore?
remember he
This
was
is
like
establishing
anti-Aaron DP and the neutral jumps and stuff. Yeah,
this is adding some consistency. This is 2 for 2 now in tournament showings. So they were close, extremely close showings, but I don't know at what point do you call that an upset, right? Mena is definitely favored overall in terms of results and consistency, but personal matchup wise, it's 2-0 for Chris now. So the conversation, eventually has to be had there, right? If a player is more dominant overall but has a bad matchup, what's an upset, really?
Yeah.
So big win for Chris CCH regardless to establish that. But after that, he also takes out Punk. That is, I think, the big upset that people are referring to here. Punk, we weren't sure exactly how the Evo run was going to go. He went to losers, losing to Angry Bird on stream, and then off stream was eliminated by Chris CCH's Luke in dramatic fashion. So definitely a big win for Chris. I don't know. Do you have anything to add to that one? Any thoughts about that upset?
I mean, definitely an amazing performance from Chris CCH overall. And I feel like the biggest upset wasn't the Punk match or the Mena match. It was him upsetting the sponsor curse that smoked so many of us in the past. My man signed to TSM and then immediately damn near makes top 8 at EVO and has this great run. So much love to Chris CCH, man. That dude is ridiculous. And I love the point that you bring up. At what point is it no longer an upset? Like, it's kind of like the whole, look, man, Chris CCH brought it up in the interview that we did with him. There are some people who still would say respectfully to these legends like the Ricky Ortiz and PR Balrogs, of the world who used to compete seriously and probably will do so again in Street Fighter 6, but doesn't right now in 5. And at the end of the day, just off of nostalgia alone, they're definitely better than Chris CCH. They're definitely better than Nephew. They're better than Samurai and all these people like that. When really, at what point does that flawed, horrible, trash logic, move to the side? So definitely much love to Chris CCH for pushing the conversation forward. Now, the next upset that I want to bring up, the 2 favorites in this tournament going into EVO, at least the general consensus, was Mr. Crimson and Idom. Both of them suffer upsets, and the first one I want to start with is Mr. Crimson, as he went up against this young buck that some of y'all might not be fully aware of. Some of y'all might be under a rock or something like that. But Texas' favorite son, my brother Nigel, he actually is, of course, a Balrog player, a Bison player, and he actually did my man's Mr. Crimson kind of dirty. Did you see this match, Brian?
I saw this match, and I almost blinked and missed it. It was definitely a rough match for Mr. Crimson. However, he did go with Luke in this matchup, so I feel like there was a bit of a confidence issue in the Dhalsim and Bison matchup, especially considering the platform they're playing on. I think the optimal theory decision for Mr. Crimson was do Luke in this situation, right? However, it definitely seemed like the theory wasn't being applicable in practice, like it wasn't rehearsed enough. Nigel picked him apart pretty clean. I'm pretty sure it was 4 rounds straight, and he moved on. And I do want to give a big shout out to Nigel. People who don't know his history. He recently had an amazing performance at Texas Showdown offline as well. He actually put Punk in losers in that tournament. Punk, of course, doing the Punk thing and winning from losers bracket, which he does all the time when going to losers early. But, that's a big win for him offline and still placed well in the top 8. So he's had his results. He's a very young player. He's up and coming. He always tells me he's trying to get like my Rog. And these days, I'm like, man, I'm trying to get like you, because Nigel's looking amazing. Even though he added the Bison to his repertoire, I think a lot of his big wins are coming from the Bison. Once you go to Dallas, it's like you have to play Bison or get out.
Oh, 100%.
Like about 85% of the best Bisons in America all come from the same region. And Nigel moved there, and they said, get this Rog out of here. Time for M Bison. And he started getting big wins over Punk and Mr. Crimson. So big shout out to Nigel for that one. But that said, Mr. Crimson moved on through losers bracket on an amazing run, eventually meeting up with the next guy we're going to talk about because he was in losers due to this upcoming match. Ryan Hart versus Idom. This is winners, I believe, top 192, right?
Yeah, I was right there for that because it was during the second pools. That Ryan Hart versus Idom match. So I'm actually there with, I was up there at Evo caked up and everything, you know what I'm saying, with wifey and all that. And she told me, she's like, yo, you should record this match with Idom and Ryan Hart. And I'm like, I'm not gonna lie, Brian. I was like, why? He about to get smoked. I was like, why, man? Shout out to the legend. I was like, wow, Ryan about to get smoked. Because Idom, right? Man, that first game, Ryan picks Sagat. It's Sagat versus Poison, I believe.
Yes.
And he wins. And then Idom, at that point, all right, time to bust the camera out. Then Idom goes to Laura wins with Laura, and then Ryan in the last game actually switches to Ryu. Shocked the hell out of me. His defense was ridiculous, and his Tatsus threw her fireballs and everything to neutral. So it was just straight
and clutch defensive reads also. Like he won one round with Wake Up Super, like when he could have lost the tournament match. Reinhardt is a scary tournament player to play against. Like he is a legend of the FGC for a reason, multiple time EVO champion across multiple titles. Like he knows how to play fighting games. He knows the mind game behind it. And you know, we don't often mention him as the most practiced Street Fighter V player, even though now he also just won his World Warrior event in Germany as well, so he's on a hot streak. Yeah, I think this is a match that people can often write off, right? Like Reinhardt, you know, is an amazing player. Is he rehearsed right now? Is this his priority? You know, that's more the question. Is it his priority? Because we know he has the talent to do amazing work in any fighting game he puts his mind to. And I think for that match, this was his priority.
He popped off too.
He played
popped
amazing.
off after his debut, bro.
Oh,
it was
man.
hype. He said, I forgot what he said, but it was.
But that was a great pick also with the Ryu. Ryu has traditionally actually been one of IDOM's worst Laura matchups. Even Marvisto has beaten IDOM. He's a Ryu player from the NY scene, I believe Long Island, also plays Honda. There's been like ECT doing their first to 5 series. I remember Marvisto beat IDOM in a first to 5 Ryu Laura. So that matchup is a very great strategic matchup. Him doing the Sagat pick, getting the win, forcing the switch, going to Ryu, perfect strategy, tournament strategy, and then perfect execution on the gameplay to make this upset happen. And yeah, that was a huge upset because, I mean, IDOM was one of the highest seeds in the tournament. He was clearly projected to go to winners, finals, or grand finals, top 3 easy. And then it shook up the result of the entire tournament, I would say. Reinhardt changed the course of history with that upset, I would say. We all know what happened.
Outside of that match, for one, I would say shout out to Reinhardt, man. Legend, one of the GOATs, and that's why he can do stuff like that. I mean, it's something about EVO where the gods of fighting games just that are not even that pressed on it anymore. They do great things because this reminds me of Valle. It reminds you of Unk, bro.
Yeah, Alex Valle is historically, you know, he had the Bonchan win in Street Fighter 4 and then the Knuckle Do win in like 2018 Street Fighter 5 with Blanca, I believe it was. With Blanca.
I think it was actually.
I think it was Blanca. So yeah, I mean the old heads, old legends, if they put their mind to it, watch out. It's just it's not the priority at the moment, but they're extremely dangerous behind the sticks.